Okay. So with Twine, it's pretty easy because Twine is basically just making a website. So we just have to download that and then publish it on itch. There's not really, too many steps to the process. I'm going to go over to Twine, and I have some saved examples here. I also have my Twee file that's saved in my Twine folder here. And I'm going to use this, I'm going to download the project to here. So, if your project isn't saved, just go over here and import it. Where's the import button? Oh yeah, in library. You can always just import from your Twee file or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to start with this example that I did last week. I'm just going to open this up. And I'm going to show a couple different ways to do this. And I'll go over what I'm doing. So if I go to build, there's a couple different options here that we've used. So we can export as a Twee file. This is going to save all our preferences and stuff, and we'll be able to edit it. But we can't publish this. So what we want to do is publish to file. And what this does is it just makes a big, gross, gnarly HTML file. So this will be in my downloads folder. Sorry, these are all my animation students. Here's my state example.html. I'm just going to drag this over here, and I'm going to drop this in my Twine folder. So to publish this on itch, you don't really have to do much else. We have to rename this index.html. That's the main thing that you have to do. If there's no index.html, it's not going to know what page to load. You might remember that from MMP 100, that the index.html is what it looks for. I'm going to go over this, but then there's a couple things that we can do if we want to add some media to this. So if I open this up in a text editor like Sublime Text, you can actually see what it looks like. It's just a really big, gross HTML file. So it just has HTML here. It has a couple tags here. And then it's got this gigantic style section with all of the Twine CSS here. This is one big, huge section. Let's actually turn on, I never use this, but this is a good example. This is a good use for the mini map. Look at all that gross CSS. And then if we go down here, you see your actual story content. So you see you wake up in a dark forest right there. And the story content is not that much. And then there's this big, gigantic, gross section of JavaScript that runs all the Twine functionality. So this is all just in one big, nasty file. Anyway, it's 500 kilobytes, which is a lot of HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So we just have to upload this to itch. I'm going to do this first, and then I'll go back and show you guys if you want to add some images in there. But let's go to itch first. So I'm going to go to itch.io. So I'm already logged in to my account. If you don't have an account, you'll have to create one. It's pretty easy. You'll probably need an email address to confirm your account or whatever. But once you have an account, you'll have a dashboard. And so you can just go to the dashboard and you'll see, something that looks like this. And you can create projects. You can edit your projects. You can see sort of analytics. You can create a game jam. You can add stuff to game jams. We'll talk about that a little bit more next week. What we want to do now is create a new project. So we just go to upload new project here. And this is pretty simple. There's just a couple things that you have to look out for. So we're going to give it a title. I don't remember what I called this. This is a moon story. So I'll just call this moon story. You can set the URL here, so you'll have a unique URL. It'll be your username.itch.io, and then you can change the end to whatever you want. You can give a tagline if you want to. I'm going to say a story about the moon. You can set a classification. You don't have to do this, but you can set it as a game. It could, you can publish other types of things on here. They have assets, tools, comics, etc. We're just going to say a game. And then kind of project, we do have to change this. You want this to be HTML. So just set that to HTML. And then release status, this doesn't really matter. Probably in development. would be good unless you want to say released. Doesn't really matter that much here what you put for that. For pricing, I would just put no payments. If you want people to be able to pay, you have to set up a credit card. You're welcome to do that, if you want to, but easy thing to do here is just say no payments, so you don't have to worry about that. And then here is where we actually upload our file. And so it says upload a zip file containing your game. There must be an index.html file in the zip. Okay, that's because it knows that we're uploading an HTML file, or upload an HTML file that contains your entire game. Okay, so we can do that because we have our whole game in that HTML file. So we can go to upload, and we can go to our Twine folder and add this here. And then just click this will be played in the browser. And then you have a couple options. You can embed it in the page and set like an embed size, or you can click to launch in full screen. The advantage of the embed in page is that you just see it on the page. The advantage of launch in full screen, obviously, is that it's going to look like it does when you're using it on your own, in the Twine editor. You can set some of these options. I'm going to ignore this for now. And then you can add some details here. So you could say, this is my Twine game about the moon. You could link to your documentation. You could say whatever you want here. Genre, you don't have to put this here, but if you want to, you can. Could put, I don't know if interactive fiction is a good genre for this. You can put some tags, like Twine is obviously going to be a popular tag, so you could add that if you want. You can create a custom noun. So this is if you don't refer to it as a game. You might say instead I want to call it a story. Again, you don't have to put this here. Let's leave our comments on so we can comment on each other's projects. Hopefully we won't get any random bots. So then this is the last part that you have to watch out for, visibility and access. We want it to be public, but if you choose public, it's not going to be public until you preview it once. So if I click save and view in page, this is actually a new thing I haven't seen before. You can unlist it. You might want to do that if you don't want it to show up on internet search results. I don't really know. We don't have purchases set up, so we don't have to worry about this. Okay, so then when you save and view page, it's going to take us over here, and you can run the story, and it'll open it in this embedded page. But look at this. If I open this in an incognito window, am I still signed in? Oh, maybe they changed this. It used to be that it wouldn't show because you have to go back and publish it, but maybe they don't. Maybe they changed that. Anyway, normally, it already says publish. Okay, so I guess they changed that. You used to have to go back and hit edit game and set it to public, but it looks like they changed that, maybe because so many of my students forgot to do it. Anyway, so now our game is published. You can edit this page if you want. You don't have to, but if you want to edit the theme, you can like choose different colors here. You can change the font. You can do whatever you want on this. You don't have to, but if you might want this page to look good. And that's pretty much it. You've published your game. I'm going to go over one thing that you might want to do. You don't have to do this, but one thing to look out for. So remember that we are linking to this image that's on the Open Lab. If you want to embed your images in your project, you can do that, but it's a little tricky. So I'm just going to go over this real quick. This would be useful if you're linking to an image on a site that you think might, disappear at some point, and you want to download the image so that it doesn't break your game. What we can do, I'm going to drag this image into over here, and I'm just going to rename this like moon.jpg, and I'm going to make a folder called images and drag this in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to edit this HTML file. So again, you don't need to do this, but I'm just showing because I think this may be something you would want to do in the future if you're publishing something. So now we can just look for the image URL. So I'm just going to do Command F to find, and I'm going to look for .jpg. And so we can see it here. Okay. And we can test this. So if I grab this index.html and open up in the browser, you can see there's the moon there. So what we can do is we can actually just change this URL. So I'm just going to take out everything for the URL, and I'm going to say images/moon.jpg. Again, you don't need to do this part. I'm just demonstrating what this would look like if you wanted to do it. Okay, so there we see I refreshed this page and the moon is still there. So now we have the moon, the actual image, saved along with our HTML. So this way, if that moon image got deleted from the internet, you wouldn't be relying on that other website to still exist. So if you're uploading a Twine project that has media embedded in it, it's a little bit of a different process. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my index.html, and I'm going to hold Command or Shift and click on that images folder. And this will work the same in Windows and Mac, but it has a slightly different name. So then if I right click on here, I'm going to click compress. On Windows, it's going to say like archive or send to zip or something like that. When I do compress, it's going to make this archive.zip. This is just a zip file. I'm going to rename this my Twine game.zip. And I can also upload this to itch.io. So I'll go back here, and just as an example, I'll go back to edit the game. And so I can delete this file, and I can upload my zip instead and set to will be played in browser. And it's going to look exactly the same. Nothing is going to have changed. But now my media is embedded in that folder, so it's part of the Twine, or it's part of the itch website. It's no longer like loading from another website. So that's a good option if you want to make sure that your game isn't going to break at some point. Anyway, again, you don't have to do it that way. I just wanted to cover that. Okay, so now I've got my my project. I'm going to open this up in a new window, and I'm going to document this a little bit. So you only need one screenshot, but I'm going to take a couple. So I'm going to do my little Command-Shift-4. I'm going to hit space and then hold Option and take a picture of that. And then I'm going to run it and do the same thing. Whoops. Go away. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay. I don't want the screenshot in the screenshot. Go away. Okay. There we go. So I've got a couple screenshots. Let's go back to the Finder. I'm going to go to Documentation, and I'm going to throw these in there. I don't want that one or that one. I want that one. And so here I've got itch week 4 and game week 4. This isn't the best naming convention, but that's okay. So now I'm ready to go. I'm going to go back to the Open Lab. I'm going to go to add a post. I'm going to call this my Twine game. And I'm going to throw those two images in there. So I'm going to go to the itch. And I'm going to write, here's my finished Twine game. Play it on itch.io. And so I'll make this into a link. So I'll select this text and click the link button here. And then I'm just going to grab this link here, Command C and Command V. And I'm going to open this in a new page. So I'm going to click on the link and then click this little edit button and then click open in a new tab. And then I'm going to drop the second screenshot right here. And I'm going to put a little description. So my game is about seeing the moon and reflecting on or reflecting in a puddle. I forget exactly what happens, but it's something like that. So now I'm going to publish this, and that's what I'm going to submit on Brightspace. I'm not going to go over that because you guys know how to do that, and I don't have Brightspace open right now. But yeah, I'm just going to copy this and then throw that on Brightspace, and I'll be done. And next week when we're going to come in, we're going to make a little game jam and add all of our games into it, and then we'll play each other's games and give each other some feedback, and you know, that'll be fun end to our Twine experiment. Yeah, I think that's everything. Any questions or anything? Okay, cool. If you do like make changes to your game, remember you can just go to edit game and just delete the file there and upload a new one. So if you upload your game today and then you realize like, oh, I forgot to add some important thing, you can always go back and update it. And itch is like a, you know, it saves all the stuff in the back end. So with the Twine, remember it doesn't save online, you have to save the files, but once you put it on itch, it'll be there in the back end, so you can just leave it there. Okay, that is it. I'm gonna stop this recording.